So this one was commented on by Bong Hits for Your Mom on the first Aesop rock video that I listened to, the first Malibu Ken video that I listened to, called Tuesday. And he commented saying, one guitar heavy Aesop rock track that comes to mind is No City. Curious to see you break that down intrinsically. If that works out, great. If that works out, great reaction. Punctuation matters. And so we're going to try this. We're going to get into this one. We're going to listen to No City by Aesop Rock because I like guitar heavy anything. And yeah, let's check this one out. No City. And I do have this lyric video, official lyrics, so I'm going to try to get into the lyrics a little bit more here. But of course, I will be listening to the music too and dissecting that. So let's do this. And go.
For want of a nail, the shoe was lost. For want of a shoe, the horse was lost. For want of a horse, the rider was lost. For want of a rider, the battle was lost.
Just sweet intro.
For want of a battle, the kingdom was lost.
Tremolo.
And all for the want of a horseshoe.
There is a hole in front of the shovel, shovel in front of the brawn. 6 billion gorillas for whom the graves yawn. Each with
So what chord are we on there? And I'll get my tremolo going too, so that. Is it faster or slower? A little slower.
Chooses tool of trade, dueling blades.
That's about right. What is it? What chord is he playing?
Cue the cruel charade and fuel the flames. You would clue the crew into the civil. Just get the food and land like you're the man and flew the coop over the pit bulls. Dash back, flash, the compassion and nano police. Sap beneath an avalanche, jagged and inadequate season. I will stop the violence more than I was Pontius Pilate.
Whether I'm out of tune or this is out of tune.
Obnoxious sirens. A is gullible, he figure all man equal no-brainer. Taking his friends and neighbors didn't cater. Moms raised the babies through a very churchy 80s. Sunday mornings reinforced the waiting gates of Hades.
Okay, we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back. Now that we figured out where this is. I don't think I'm that flat. I think this is detuned slightly. It's like it's just ever so slightly detuned. I could be a little bit out of tune. It hasn't seemed out of tune on some of the other ones I've done. So, but yeah, we're in like a D, between D and D sharp type of a thing here, or yeah, E flat, D sharp. So we're somewhere in between, and it might just be like pitch bended from like maybe a slight change in like tempo. Maybe they bumped it up a couple BPM like after the fact, and it's just maybe they recorded it in D but then bumped it up a couple of BPM or something, and it detuned it. I don't know, but we're gonna get into it.
There is a hole in front of the shovel, shovel in front of the brawn. 6 billion gorillas for whom the graves yawn. Each with of his mulish days to choose his tool of trade. Dueling blades to cue the cruel charade and fuel the flames. You would clue the crew into the civil. Just get the food and land like you the man and flew the coop over the pit bulls. Dash back, flash, the compassion and nano police. Sap beneath an avalanche, jagged and inadequate season. I will stop the violence more than I was Pontius Pilate. Cops and robbers riot by the fives obnoxious sirens.
And it's like just on the very back of the beat where it seems like it's dragging. It's really not.
babies through a very churchy 80s.
You can drag
Sunday mornings
purposefully
we
and you're not
enforce the waiting
dragging.
gates of Hades, and he brazen, but apparently inferno bound now. For when a man of corpse beside his wrongs, he wouldn't bow down. The punishment
There's
should
that
fit the
walk,
reasons
walk.
you must punish him. Never puncture skin or pull the colored rugs from under them. Two opposing motherships shall not employ the gunner's deck, as brotherhoods of public good do not employ the unctuous in you. Observing how the giveth is disproportionate to the taketh away, decide to maketh his day.
Yeah.
Order
Observing how the giveth is disproportionate to the taketh away. Nice. I love that. That's such a good line. Noticing how giving is disproportionate to taking away, aka people seem to take a lot more than they give. Decided to maketh his day. This is just, I love how he's done this kind of this old English kind of thing that he's throwing in here. It's such a unique way to hear somebody rap.
stoic odium glow in a cold holster when it could have stood easily in a tough juggling toaster. No mountain too high, no city too far.
I'm just hearing this really wild, like, this, like, maybe it isn't just D sharp or E flat.
No coma tonight, no city tomorrow, no fire too live, no city
But
too
it seems like
charged,
it's either tuned flat, E flat, tuned down, or D tuned D up. But the trem is off. And it's just very heavily distorted. Like guitar solo in a rap song. Okay, yeah, it's like, but you hear this cool, like, okay, so a lot of things going on here. Way ton of depth here. So after you're done with this verse, chorus, more note with the scratching, like the DJ, like the, reminds me of a Sublime kind of a DJ thing. And I know that's not right, but there's just so much going on here. Bass, you got the keys, you got the horns, kind of chording, like a little singing. Got that going. And then you got this dude just going hard on this like 60s distorted back pickup. He does those, the drum beats have those tight, those like tasty little spots where it's like there's just a beat where there's just a rest and there's nothing, and it's just so tasty, and his vocal comes in and it's like it sticks out what he's saying there.
Pick the phone up with a grown-up mode approach. Skin. With a grown-up mode approach, skin crawling
just
off the
a couple of bass drum hits that aren't there, and just,
I've known it wasn't roses, but hoped it was less corrosive. Coasting to the focus of the grossest diagnosis, like Holmes. The barnacles that chew upon the flesh of man have glued into the suitor as capital to a beggar's hand, and comfortably sung a stubborn legacy of gluttony with carnivores that burrow like hunters into the blood and meat. What? Ginny gin up in the city, picture sending pen up, let her numb the spitting stigma. Along came a spider, sold her ex to any buyer. Had a shooter in the back, a 6 legs wider than the driver. If you make no friends on the way to the top rung, there is no secret handshake club. I do not give a fuck, but know the cancers make the olive branches obviously standard. So when they extend from the yachts and mansions, drop your cannons. All kings hang
eat
him
the
with a
rich.
cliffside drip dry.
Watch
Willie
you-
clip
watch
the
how
zip
you
liner
get to the
slip
top.
for a spinal dip dive. If he lived, will he survive the milligrams of middle ground? They pump into the pinstripe pentagrams over Tinseltown, or kill a man who trickled down the city with his scissors out as sickles, dipped in military hells, bells and whistles. Riders to the east, not a wild tribe. Thank you for the peace on earth and mercy miles high.
No mountain too high, no city too far, no coma tonight, no city tomorrow, no fire too live, no city too charged, no treaty to sign, no city to guard.
And all for the want of a horseshoe leg.
Okay. Okay, yeah, this is cool. Oh, what was that little like kind of little ping ponging back and forth? It almost sounded like, I mean, it was probably some keyboard, but that sound reminded me of like when you like, you know, like on a crystal, a piece of crystal. It kind of had that sound. It was like almost ping ponging, but it kind of had that sound of like swirling. Wow, that's cool. I really liked that song. I didn't catch all the lyrics. I caught as much as I could. It was super interesting. Some things in there that I probably don't know enough to understand his stuff. But, you know, he really does seem to have that. There's almost always like this, a little bit of an undertone of like the struggle between good and evil, and like good thinking that it's good but it's really evil kind of thing maybe going on. And yeah, musically a lot there, so like kudos to him. And if anyone helps him produce or make his beats and stuff, but I think someone said that he produces a lot of his tracks by himself, so which is just like, is he manning some of these instruments? Is he ripping samples? Is he having people come in and do some things? I mean, is he the one playing those guitar solos and those riffs and stuff, which is just super gritty and really cool sounding? And it's like, it's not trying to be like clean and super like nice and whatever. It's still really cool stuff, like challenging stuff to play. But yeah, so many like layers and things in the background to that beat. It's like sometimes you hear some rap tunes and there's just like a couple things going on, or it's like obviously like it's just a sample taken that has a bunch of stuff going on with it. I didn't really feel that from that. There was a lot of really good production notes in that, where he's dropping the kick out for a couple beats, or you know, adding the little organ, the little keyboard stuff in there. And when the second guitar is, you know, coming in to add an extra little bit of rhythm and tone to it, you know, the drums just sound like that classic tight hip hop drum beat. Bass is really cool, just kind of throughout in the background, you know, simple, pretty, you know, wasn't very busy, the bass line at all. Like, you got to have that bass line and the drum beat kind of like give yourself that feel of like having a little bit more widespread, like leaving more room, you know, not having a whole bunch of like stems in the mix, so that all his vocal stuff is like, you know, the lead drummer, if you will, from a rhythmic standpoint. Like, there's like a lead drummer happening, doing a drum solo over the entire track, and it's his vocal, it's his rap. You know, you want to have your rhythm section stuff be like wide open and like consistent and like kind of hanging in the background, so that your lead drummer, lead vocal rapper can really shine over the top and play off of some of the stuff you're doing. And it's really cool because he makes it sound like it's almost like it. You have to produce it yourself so that like because he's like playing off of himself. His rap is playing off of some of the drum and bass stuff and the guitar stuff and the keyboard stuff, and then you can also hear the keyboard stuff kind of playing off of his rap, flows and his rhythmic stuff. And so it's really cool. It seems like that'd be really hard to do and make sound genuine. Having rapping being like that other member of the band, and like musically all the kind of instruments are kind of like leaving space for each other and kind of talking to each other and communicating with each other a little bit. But if he's producing it, like that's just an extra level of musicianship and like what sounds good and just musical ear, which is just insane. Like I'm really liking this stuff. Like there's so much more than what's up on the surface. And to some people, what's up on the surface is just lyric, is just poetry, and to some people, that's what they're interested in when they listen to Aesop rock. Probably they're interested in the poetry, and I am interested in that sometimes. More so, like which lines really hit me and make me think about things, than like trying to dissect and understand every single line. But I'm more so into like understanding what he's doing from a producer standpoint and musician standpoint. So I hope I can kind of help share some of that stuff with you if you haven't thought about it or dug into it like that. Maybe you have already, and that's cool. And you telling me that I'm misinterpreting things, and that's fine. Like we can have conversations. But yeah, I really liked this. This was awesome. Good suggestion. Bong hits for your mom. You better give her some. Peace.